quickly began to collect a reputation and a rap sheet of various petty crimes, and a solid group of friends with whom I discovered a world that would become my escape. I idolized the minds challenging this fearful, complacent majority I was surrounded by. The voices of Burroughs and Vonnegut echoed in my head. And Minor Threat, Void, Bad Brains, 7 Seconds, Black Flag became the authors of my new gospel. These bands offered substance over style. They were saying something different from the mindless, piss-drunk, gutter punk stereotypes I was settling for. I listened, became straight edge, abandoned drinking and drugs. It just made sense to me to be coherent if I ever wanted to beat the system. As years went by, high school was the last thing on my mind. Only getting out mattered. But right after I became a real legal adult, I made a choice that would make it even harder for me to escape this town. I became physically, legally jailed inside of it. A dark, poetic reality mocking my already mentally caged mindset. I did my time and my probation, and got a proposal that would change my life forever. I would be joining my friends in a seminal modern hardcore band on a national tour. Nothing could have been more of a perfect nirvana for my newly freed soul. I left home with only a small bag and a vague explanation for my girlfriend and family, knowing full well I would not be returning. I landed in Hollywood and somehow scored the dining room of a house Bukowski lived in for $200 a month. I moved in and got a job waiting tables my first week. I would roll out of bed and skateboard there at noon, serve the likes of Morrissey and Tarantino rock and roll Thai food. I was home, man. Like minds, the sun, the shows surrounded me. I never thought happiness like this could exist. Fast forward a few years. I have fallen into an amazing niche surrounded by stimulating, inspiring friends, and doing things and making art I never could imagine. In my new world, things just happened to me. I never knew it would show up in my email, but this one particular morning, my heart stopped. I have always known I would have a Raymond Pettibone tattoo. His iconic imagery was the aesthetic of my youth. It was hard to even choose from the countless images I had seen on flyers and album covers my whole life, but his influence was inescapable. There was no other artist I had such a deep personal connection with, and here on my screen was glowing a brand new work from him I'd never seen. The excitement of that alone was enough to make my day. But they weren't just showing me, they were offering it to me. Offering to me an opportunity to be the sole owner, and at the same time, a walking original of my favorite artist. Pettibone's power has always lived in the stark contrast of his black, deliberate strokes against the void, frantic, chaotic marks against society. Which is convenient because it's exactly who I am.